Excuse me. Excuse me. Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Dog House. I am your host, the Big Dog. I know, I got sound effects. Deal with it. And welcome again to another episode of the Dog House. If you haven't already, give this Twitch channel a follow. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And feel free to join the Discord server, should you please. If not, that's okay. Thank you for showing up tonight. We got a very interesting topic tonight. And that is the month of June. For those of you who do not know, hell, I didn't know this until not too long ago, until a little bit ago. But apparently June is Pride Month. And you know how companies are. Of course, the corporations, they're going to do everything they can to self-fillet themselves or to, pretty much placate to the masses because why not? They think it's going to give them extra revenue, but they're wrong. But we won't tell them that. Anyway, let's get to tonight's topic, which is, like I said, companies placating to...
Yeah, I think they're...
Oh, sorry, hang on. To Pride Month. But first, let's watch a little short film, and then we're going to get to the video in hand. Let me switch to the main screen. Let's do this. Oh wait, hang on. Before I do anything. My bad. My bad. I gotta turn the music off. Turn this off and get over here. Switch to back to the main. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Memology. Disney promises LGBTQ commitment. We want to represent our audience. Right. Disney confirms its first bisexual lead character, who is also multicultural. Oh my goodness. How many times is Disney going to introduce the first gay character? That's a very good question. They've done this how many times? Gay Days at Disney. Celebrate Pride and LGBTQ+. Yo, they really gotta stop expanding that acronym, man. It's really getting annoying. Now it's like LGBTQIA or something. Stick to one. Stick to one acronym, man. It's getting on my nerves. There's room for everyone under the rainbow. Oh no, I don't want to be under the rainbow unless there's a woman there. There's a woman dressed like a leprechaun, okay, but no. I'm staying away from the rainbow. How it's going. The Walt Disney Company may be gearing up for its traditional celebration of Pride Month, but today a long-time executive has hit the House of Mouse with a lawsuit of discrimination based on sexual orientation. Uh-oh. No. Disney hit with sexual orientation discrimination suit by ABC's signature vice president on the first day of Pride Month. God, that is sad.
Shut up! Shut up! That's it, girls. No more Disney TV for a while.
Okay, so now I know people are going to say this, but I want to make it clear. I have nothing against Disney, alright? I don't hate them, but I don't blindly follow them either. I'm indifferent towards them. Alright, now, for those of you wondering about that little title, what do you call it? About the Pride Month title. We're gonna try. Now, I didn't watch this video beforehand. This is a video by the recording.
There could have been a very interesting
Let's see what he
forward-thinking, or not even forward-thinking. Yeah, I think that there could have been a very interesting forward-thinking, or not even forward-thinking, just like current-thinking love story there. You know, it's something that hadn't quite been explored yet.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Oh,
I can see it in your
poor Finn. Is it bad that I feel sorry for John Boyega? Did they really destroy that
eyes.
character? He did a
I can
decent
see it
job.
in your smile. You're all I've ever wanted. Your arms are open wide, 'cause you know just what to say, and you know just what to do. And I want to tell you so much. I love you.
And I would try to push it a bit in that direction, but the Disney overlords were not ready to.
There's room for everyone under the rainbow. Happy Pride Month.
Pride Month is in full swing, and thus
Jeremy.
what runs parallel to that is also Cringe Month. Look, I support my LGBTQ friends and viewers, and I appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate you as humans. And I also appreciate that we can all agree that corporations that love to pander to...
All right. Before he goes on onto this, I want to also echo that sentiment. I do appreciate if you are a part of the LGBTQ community, please do not take anything I say with malice. I think you guys are great. If you are tuning in, thank you. Thank you, thank you. But again, please, I do not mean any malice towards any of you. I only say this because I care. Well, yeah, because I care. But let's move on.
to you.
But, oh wait, before I forget. This is for all my LGBTQ viewers, if you do exist. Little Don DeMarco for you guys. Thank you.
Really don't care. It's like free marketing. It's all the memes that we see where like Bethesda has a rainbow icon last year on every single Twitter handle except for Bethesda Middle East and Bethesda, I think, one other country.
How peculiar, right? Oh, before I forget, yeah, Jeremy from the Corning is somewhat conservative, I believe. I could be wrong though. So
It's like if these corporations were so woke, they'd, I don't know, stand by their values. That's one of the most frustrating things about these lily-livered Western companies that really want you to think that they're woke and that they care, but only second to making money. Everybody knows this, and there's no better example of it than Disney. We've seen, obviously, the many examples with Disney. Everything from them shrinking John Boyega's face in a Star Wars movie poster so that they wouldn't upset Chinese people who don't like blacks. They made Chadwick Boseman's character, Black Panther, wear his mask in the Black Panther movie poster in China to trick them. Apparently, haha, we got your money. Now you're paying money to somebody you hate based on the color of their skin, but we don't care.
Was that really a thing? Wow. Now, that I did not know. That's crazy.
Because Disney money. We've seen
crazy.
Disney's Mulan thank the propaganda department that helps hide what they're doing in internment camps right now with Muslims, over 1 million of them, sterilizing them, separating their families, doing horrible, putting them in work camps. Disney's all fine with all of that. Just please like and retweet when they change their banner to some sort of pride thing. So Disney, of course, puts on, I don't know what every single color represents here. Here's what I see. You're all humans. You're all good by me. But sorry, I don't have time to learn what every single color bar in this means. If you're cool, you're cool.
I I gotta agree with that. I agree. Like, look, stop with this. If you're cool, if you're a good person, I got nothing against you.
I don't care if you identify as an androgynous tree person or not. Treat me right, I treat you right.
Exactly.
So then they put out this tweet yesterday, of course, saying, everybody talk about how stunning and brave we are. June 1st, there's room for everyone under the rainbow, Disney said. Happy Pride Month.
I don't wanna
You
be
see
under the rainbow.
32,000 sheep liking that tweet. And quite a few replies, actually. It wasn't exactly a total dunk for them. You could see this is why corporations do it, right? The tweet before it, right? Earlier in the day, just minutes before, tweet of The Little Mermaid and Roger Rabbit, DuckTales.
Roger Rabbit's a really good movie. Sorry, I keep pausing the video, but I gotta stretch that runtime, But yeah, Roger Rabbit is a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
29 comments, 2.8 thousand likes. Here's one, Star Wars, very popular. Fox and Hound, I think that is. I'm not sure what this is. It looks familiar, but I can't place my finger on it. 1,000 likes, 8 comments. Oh, Pride Month, 32,000.
How much you want to bet they bought those?
Who could possibly guess why corporations do this? 2.5 thousand comments, 11,000 retweets. And you see Disney next month. See ya, CNL fruits. You hear Sega, I don't know what that is. Every company during Pride Month. Large companies, I'm a bit of a homosexual myself. This is my favorite corporate pride meme.
That's actually really good. That's really good.
Ultimately, and then you see Disney cancels production of its first LGBTQ-led animated film. Uh-oh.
This you?
When was this from?
Oh my god.
Doesn't say.
Except Finn Poe. That's too risky.
I mean, who is this?
G-
This is our first gay character. Disney, this is the 7th movie in a row you've shown your first gay character in class. I mean, yeah, it's also like the female-led films get that. Like, every time there's a female-led film, the reaction of the press is basically like, this is the first female-led film in history.
No, it's not.
I mean, a corporate logo, and you just have, I should probably change my beard. What inspired you to change oh, this is another classic. What inspired you to change your logo to the rainbow flag? Money. There you just have it. Fix it for you. There's room for everyone's money under the rainbow.
That's a good one.
You could say something, but I think Alan Hirsch says it best. So you see Alan Hirsch, who wrote Gravity Fails, and now he's working at Netflix, put out a pretty hilarious tweet. Disney privately. Cut that gay scene. We might lose precious pennies from Russia and China. Disney publicly. Honk, honk. We put our rainbow bumper sticker on a Lightning McQueen today. Consume our product, teens. 130,000 likes.
That's actually really funny.
Gets absolutely embarrassed to any creative at Disney TV feature, publishing, or streaming. Please mercilessly spam your execs with, there's room for everyone under the rainbow. Next time they tell you to, quote, please revise your LGBTQ plus character for, quote, not being Disney appropriate. Ooh. Sounds like Alex has some inside information about it. And look, the funny thing is, like, even though my approach to this is corporations don't care, they only care about money, let's look at these funny memes and, like, people in the LGBTQ community wanting legitimate representation. Like, we're on the same time, on the same side. Disney wants to put a gay character in a movie, then go all the way. Stop putting one in there and then, like, coming out 2 weeks later and saying, oh, this androgynous character that didn't really have any lines or any indication, yeah, they were gay. Like and retweet, please.
Exactly.
It's pathetic.
I agree, man. I really agree. Like, if you're gonna put a gay character in a movie, then do it that makes it genuine. Don't do it that's gonna make it like look like you obviously are just pandering to people.
It's pathetic.
Because I'm not stupid.
They
I know what you're
vetoed
doing.
the gay couple back when You're Amazing, by the way, show was still on. Yet let Dana and her team manage to get away with LGBTQ plus material. I think Disney might have changed since Gravity Fails ended. Alex writes, unfortunately, they've made some recent business choices that heavily walk back much of that progress. Steps forward often are followed by steps backwards, especially when companies are operating from a place of fear. I criticize in hopes of seeing far less fear from them in the future. You're not going to. Not as long as... Oh, cringe. Every time I see this clown in my... Yeah.
Man, people really hate Ethan Klein, man. People hate that motherfucker.
You know, this is... Yeah, here's the same energy. You have like the... Here it comes. Like the... Look, I don't think... You know, I think Pride Month is up there with all of the other whatever months. You know, this X History Month... I don't care. It's dumb. It's all marketing. It's all, and it may have started out as something good, right? It really may have. Probably did. But all it is now is a stupid marketing ploy. These corporations don't care about gay people. They never have. There may be people inside of them that do, but they don't. How about this? On the very first day, Disney hit with an orientation discrimination lawsuit by longtime executive on the very first day of Pride Month.
Oh, here we go.
This executive claims he was placed on a dead-end career track because of his orientation. Well, he's going to have to prove that in court, obviously. But the plaintiff has directed and repeated complaints to HR about discrimination he has endured while employed by Disney and the related failures to promote him and pay him at the same level as other department heads, said the complaint filed by attorneys Joel Hopkins in L.A. After his orientation became known to his superiors and after being discriminated again and put on a dead-end career track and repeatedly denied promotions with no remedy or relief from HR, plaintiff is informed and believes that yet again in or around April 2021, several promotions occurred, but plaintiff once again was not promoted. Continues a 10-page filing for orientation discrimination and failure to prevent that in California's Fair Employment and Housing Act. The named defendants are Walt Disney, ABC Signature Studios, and Riverside Television. Now, it seems odd that, you know, Hollywood company would not be ultra supported. But this just goes to what I've said all along about these people, is that they care for show. They don't really care about people. They care about money. Now, maybe this employee really didn't deserve the promotion. There are people out there that will use their orientation as a shield. Maybe they just didn't perform well. I don't know. They'll have to prove that in court. But on the very first day of Pride Month, and after getting absolutely eviscerated by other Hollywood individuals like Alex Hirsch, I'm here for it. Just make the product. Just sell me the hot dogs. That's all I want. I don't want to hear about your garbage political opinions. You know, if you have money to invest in pandering, then you have money to lower ticket prices so more middle-class Americans can go in your park. Or you could have money to pay a more fair wage to your employees. Maybe you should spend your money that way. I don't think I'll hold my breath. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Alright. Yeah, that's the funny thing about these companies, man. They really don't care. Disney in particular is the biggest offender of this. They don't give a damn. All they care about is lining their pockets, which, look, I'm fine with that. But at the least be honest about it. Now, speaking of Disney, we're going to go off topic and then I'm going to end the show, unfortunately, because I do have something else to do. Disney recently came out with a movie based off of a classic villain of theirs named Cruella de Vil. Now, for those of you who've watched 1,000 Dalmatians, yes, Cruella de Vil is, I believe I'm saying that right, Cruella de Vil? I don't know, fuck it, whatever. She was the main villain of the story, and she basically was a fashion tycoon who tried to kill a bunch of puppies to make overpriced handbags, I believe, if I remember the story correctly. That's fine, whatever. But recently they came out with a movie starring Emma Stone, and we're gonna watch the critical drinker rip this movie a new one. By the way, spoiler alert for anybody who actually wanted to see this movie. And if you did and this ruins it for you, my apologies. Actually, you know what? If I'll give myself one of these for you.
Bruh.
There you go.
You know, it's always cool when a movie totally proves you wrong, defying your cynical expectations to deliver an experience that's way better than anything you could have predicted. I mean, that's not what happened here, of course, but I imagine it's nice when it actually does happen. After that less than impressive trailer, which dropped a few months ago, I went into Cruella expecting a pointless backstory that tries and fails to reframe one of Disney's most hated villains into a cool, punky, edgy anti-hero that we all wink wink secretly love. And well, that's pretty much what the movie delivered. To be fair, a character that wants to murder puppies so she can make them into fur coats was
Oh, it's fur coats. Whoops.
always going to be a tough sell, but what the
You know what? Before I move forward.
Bruh.
There we go.
Fuck. If Disney want
I
to set
deserve
themselves impossible challenges, then that's up to them. I'm just here to point and laugh. Cruella marks the latest entry in Disney's unpleasant trend of rewriting the history of its famous antagonists, depicting them as either tragic, misunderstood heroes unfairly persecuted by jealous, selfish men, or as smart, ambitious go-getters determined to rise to the top at any cost. And the question I keep asking myself is, why? Oh yeah, of course. Anyway, there's a lot I want to say about this movie, so let's stop fucking around and get into this shit. The movie opens with a breezy montage of Cruella's early life. Born into a not particularly wealthy single mother in the 1950s, she's named Estella. It soon becomes obvious that she's a troublemaker by nature, talented but defiant and vindictive towards anyone who fucks with her. Her mother's attempts to curb her behaviour meet with only limited success, and when Estella's eventually expelled from school, her mum's left with no choice but to go cap in hand to a wealthy acquaintance to beg for help. That doesn't work out too well though, and her mum gets pushed off a cliff by some evil Dalmatians.
No way!
I guess we'll overlook the fact that they were just loyal animals doing exactly what they were trained to do, protect their master. Anyway, Estella escapes to London and soon falls in with a couple of petty thieves who take her in and teach her how to survive. Flash forward 10 years and Estella's a wannabe fashion designer played by Emma Stone. Wait, what? 10 years? Really? That would make her about 20 years old by my reckoning. The thing is, Emma Stone is like 32 now, and as much as she's a good actress, well, she's not exactly a young looking 32. Anyway, what?
No, she is not.
Nope.
Whatever. Estella's chance soon comes when one of her buddies manages to blag her a job at a top London fashion house. Unfortunately, it turns out to be shitty work. Literally. Frustrated by her lack of opportunities, she gets drunk one night and vandalises a window mannequin, which just so happens to catch the attention of fashion designer Baroness Hellman, who just so happens to be visiting the store that day. Wow, that was lucky. Before you know it, Estella's working for Hellman as a designer, where she quickly gains the older woman's trust, until she notices her wearing the pendant that once belonged to her mother. Damn, what are the odds that she just so happens to find herself working for the very woman who caused her mother's untimely death? Naturally, Estella wants some payback, so she adopts the alter ego of Cruella and begins staging publicity stunts that draw attention away from Hellman. Embracing the punk rock movement that's going on at the time, Estella's able to paint herself as the cool young rebel, making Hellman look old and dated by comparison. The movie becomes a battle of wits and wills between the two women, Estella trying to bring Hellman down, and Hellman trying to figure out who Cruella is so that she can have her murdered. Because yeah, in this world, fashion designers are apparently so fucking powerful that they can literally orchestrate murders, manipulate the police and local officials, and act like government entities in their own rights.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Naturally, this rivalry culminates in a really contrived confrontation between the two of them, where we learn that Hellman fails to recognise a very obvious trap when she sees it. Cruella can apparently fit a parachute inside her skirt, which somehow deploys without her turning upside down, and nobody in this movie has the slightest hint of common sense. The movie ends with Estella letting go of her former identity and fully embracing the persona of Cruella, one of the most evil characters in Disney history. Yay! I felt so uplifted after watching this film. There's a lot of things to criticise about this movie, believe me, but I suppose I should get the simple stuff out the way first. For a start, Cruella is long, 2 hours and 14 minutes long to be precise, and Jesus Christ, just like Tatiana on a Saturday night, you really start to feel that extra length after a while. Compare that runtime to Maleficent, which clocked in at a lean and mean 97 minutes, or the fucking Lion King, which was only 88, and you begin to appreciate how bloated and self-indulgent this movie really is. After a while, I genuinely felt like it was never gonna end. Every scene, montage, and transition goes on way longer than it needs to, and it's crammed so full of pointless shit that it becomes a genuine chore to get through. Like Discount Ziggy Stardust here, who serves absolutely no purpose in the movie, does nothing of significance, and basically exists so that Cruella has an excuse to look at more outfits. Which brings me along to another criticism of this film. So many outfits. Seriously, I know this movie's about the conflict between rival fashion designers, not exactly Clash of the Titans, but whatever, I guess. So naturally the costumes were gonna play a part in things, but Jesus, this film just never ever lets up. Every single scene you're bombarded with wave after wave of ludicrous, flamboyant 1970s garbage that no actual human being would ever wear. What starts out as a novel point of interest quickly becomes exhausting to look at, and unless you're a teenage girl that's insanely besotted with the punk rock era, I really don't know what you're supposed to get out of it. Naturally, being a female-centric Disney movie, the male characters are all useless, clueless, spineless, effeminate morons without the slightest ability to think or act for themselves. Mark Strong plays the only character with even a hint of brainpower, but he's made sure to stay firmly at the periphery of the story and never once challenges his female superiors. Because we can't have a pesky man spoiling the fun, even though this would totally never be allowed to happen if the sexes were reversed. The sad thing is that I can barely even muster any emotion for this kind of blatant double standards now. It's basically just how films are these days. All of these criticisms are fair enough, but they're basically just petty bitching on my part. The real problem lies at the very core of this movie, and that's Cruella herself. Her character arc is all about the conflict between the good and evil aspects of her personality. On the one hand, you've got Estella, a talented but down on her luck nobody with a tragic backstory who dreams of being something more. In short, she's the nice one you're expected to root for. Then there's her alter ego Cruella, a flamboyant, ruthless narcissist who's out to win and crush her opponents at any cost. She spent most of her early life trying to be one of these people, while secretly yearning to indulge the other. The point of the story is her realization that she can only go so far as Estella before people start betraying her trust and taking advantage of her good nature, which forces her to turn more and more into Cruella to fight her way to the top. And if I was a charitable man, I'd say the movie is trying to make the point that people who are only capable of being sweet, trusting and compassionate will inevitably get screwed over by their more unscrupulous counterparts, and that sometimes you have to be a little bit ruthless and selfish in order to get ahead. Given the audience this movie's designed to appeal to, I'd say this particular message is mostly aimed at young women who are generally seen as being more agreeable and conscientious, lacking the assertiveness needed to stand up for themselves. That's fair enough, but the problem with this is twofold. Firstly, the movie doesn't seem to know how to handle this transformation in Cruella, or the implications for the people around her. Like, the script makes it obvious that Jasper's becoming uncomfortable with her increasingly ruthless methods and arrogant persona, but then he just kind of stops caring about it and becomes a loyal, subservient henchman by the end. I mean, she clearly hasn't learned to rein in her behaviour, so why aren't you calling her out on this shit? Oh yeah, because that would be inconvenient for the story. It also feels like Cruella hasn't learned a single thing from her experiences. By the end of the movie, she's become just as much of a greedy, self-absorbed asshole as the woman she fought so hard to defeat. She's even moved into her house and taken on her servants. She's become the very thing she hated. And I couldn't help but think, what the fuck am I supposed to be cheering for here? Now don't get me wrong, Emma Stone is good at what she does, She's fun, charismatic, and she commands the screen in a way that so few actresses do these days. And watching her absolutely annihilate the scenery with Emma Thompson is fun in a basic superficial kind of way, but only because you're watching two competent actors sparking off each other. There's nothing more disheartening than watching a good actor labouring away in some shitty production that doesn't deserve them, and watching Stone's performance here, I'm kinda reminded of Will Smith doing everything in his power to salvage a half-decent movie from the
Oh.
Nope.
Don't remind
wreckage
me
of
of that.
Suicide Squad.
Don't
Guess
remind
what?
me
It
of
didn't
that.
work then and it doesn't work now. Which leads me neatly onto the second issue. The movie's moral framework is completely and totally fucked. Just like Rey and Captain Marvel taught young girls that they can be unstoppable, invincible badasses without having to work and strive for it in the slightest way, so Cruella teaches them that they should act like selfish, entitled brats and treat everyone around them like shit. Yeah, just try that in the real world and see how far it gets you. This is all the result of unsuccessfully trying to mesh the competing demands of ending the movie on an upbeat note with a protagonist you're supposed to root for, with the reality of who and what Cruella will ultimately become. A different movie that wasn't saddled with all this baggage might have ended with Cruella striking a balance between the two opposing aspects of her personality, realising that while you sometimes have to be ruthless and calculating to get ahead, you should never lose your sense of compassion and decency, or you'll become some kind of monster. Cruella does go on to become a monster, so that balance and emotionally satisfying message is impossible here. But Drinker, you vexingly vindictive virtuoso, I hear you say. Joker featured a similar story about a protagonist with a tragic past that ultimately leads him down a
These people can't be serious.
Nope.
No.
dark path to becoming an iconic villain, and you just couldn't stop spunking over that movie. Yeah, people are legitimately comparing Cruella to fucking Joker. I mean, I shouldn't really have to explain this, but here goes. The difference here, dear viewer, is that Joker is the story of a vulnerable, deeply damaged man, and his descent into madness in the midst of an uncaring society that hammers him down at every opportunity. Arthur Fleck doesn't become the Joker to take revenge for past transgressions or to seek out fame and fortune. He falls into the role by accident after a brutal attack one night, and ultimately embraces it as the last of his fragile psyche collapses around him. And most importantly of all, the movie absolutely doesn't try to frame him as some kind of cool, edgy anti-hero that we all secretly aspire to. That is the fucking difference here. And that's why the idiots who try to draw comparisons between two vastly different movies are literally grasping at anything they can think of to defend this shitty film.
Yep.
And shitty it is. Just like the fashion industry that it endlessly obsesses over, Cruella is a vapid, bloated, self-important, and ultimately pointless waste of time and resources, telling a story that really didn't need to be told, trying to redeem a character that absolutely doesn't deserve it, and delivering a muddled, incoherent message that nobody needs to hear. And despite its talented cast, big budget and lavish production design, it can never really escape the fact that it's a movie nobody particularly asked for or wanted. If you really want to see Cruella de Vil as she was meant to be seen, then you should probably watch the original animated movie instead.
Alright. I think I've made my point, or I think Drinker has made his point, and I think I've made my point about these companies all damn it. I think I've made my point about these companies very clear. To my LGBTQ plus viewers, stop following these companies. Stop caring what they say. Stop liking their stupid posts on Twitter. Why? Because they don't care about you. I hate to be that guy. I hate to be cynical. I'm not trying to be cynical, but I know I sound it. But trust me, these people don't care. They never will care. All right, that is it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. This is again episode 25 of the Doghouse, and I will see you next Friday. Peace.